Your lock parting system can literally make or break your lock journey. And I know you want to know, how do I choose the fullness? How do I choose what parts to get? How do I choose versatility? How do I get a sleek look? How do I get a structure? I know y'all have so much question when it comes to a lock part, but the way you part your hair matters. So we're gonna get into that today. What you saying, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we live life the affordable way. My name is Monique. Into locks and beauty content, be sure to subscribe. So let's break it down one step at a time on how to choose the right parts when it comes to your lock journey. The first tip that I'm going to give you when it comes to lock parting systems is consider your styling goal. Think about how you will wear your hair. Do you love straight hair? Do you love clean style? Go for a square or diamond part. Do you want versatility in direct? Go for C shape or random free form part. These parts offer flexibility. Do you wear updos often? Lay parts help create a fuller look when it comes to your look. This is what I mean by consider your styling options. Figure out what kind of styles you want, figure out how you want your hair, figure out what you want to do with your hair, figure out how you're going to be wearing your hair on a day-to-day basis. Figure it out before you even decide to get your lock journey. Another example is when you wear ponytails, when you wear buns. Bricklay parts is the most easiest when it comes to those styles. Bricklay parts will help your scalp to avoid visible lines. Let's get into our next tip when it comes to how to choose the right part for your lock. Match the parting to your hair density. This is very important. Choose parts that work with your hair fullness. Now, just recently, I'm literally like 5 years in my lock journey, and just recently I had to got the front of my hairline parts redone because it just started growing funny. This is what I mean. It started growing funny, some started thinning, like it was just a lot. So this is why I say match the hair to your part fullness. Which I know I have a thinner hairline, so from the jump I supposed to get bigger parts in the front. You know, this is something that is so vital for you to know, especially if you're just starting your lock journey, because I wasn't aware of it until my hair started to grow, and then I started seeing how it was growing. I was like, yeah, I don't like this. I'm not dealing with it. But I just want you to know, thick hair can handle large parts. Finer hair may look better with smaller parts or closer parts like bricklay or micro grid. These always work for thinner or finer hair. Example: somebody with thinner or finer hair may end up with square parts that they don't love. So all of this is why it's so important to know the kind of parts that you're getting into your hair, because you want to love your hair at all times. Like me, I did not love the front of my hair. I didn't like how it was look. I didn't like how it was laying. So I got mine fixed. But this is something that you can do from the get-go. Get it fixed. Learn about the parts and the parting system. Another tip for how to choose the right parts: your face shape or aesthetic preference. Everybody wants to look a certain way when it comes to their hair, regardless if they want to admit it or not. Everybody has a certain look that they like to achieve, a certain way they want their hair to lay. Like just like how everybody has like that go-to lock style, everybody has a certain aesthetic preference that they prefer. Rounded or oval faces look great with curved or crescent parts. It's still optional. Angular or square faces may benefit from the symmetry of diamond part. But what I have noted is crescent parts often have that soft look and give a more natural appearance. So it all depends on what y'all find that is suitable for you and what you like and what's going to be your aesthetic preference. Everything is optional at the end of the day. Everything is your lock journey. Let's get into our next tip when it comes to how to choose the right part when it comes to your lock. Maintenance and time commitment. The more you intricate, the more time it takes to install and maintain. Freeform parts equal low maintenance. Precision parts like square or diamonds equals maintenance. It has to get maintained. It's not gonna not get maintained. It has to be maintained so you can keep the shape. If you're somebody that's just into the freeform locks, then get freeform locks. You ain't gotta worry about no maintenance. Just oil your hair on time and wash your hair. But if you're into somebody who wants styles and not styles, and want to be a more organized look, then you're going to need to maintain your hair to keep looking like how you want it to look. These require upkeep, especially during retwist and installs. But for example, if you are DIY and yourself, if you're somebody that loves to do your hair yourself, bricklay parts all the way. I did not know how to do my hair until I got locked. Like I was never a braider. I was never somebody that does hair, like experiment with hair. Like it just wasn't for me. Like it wasn't for me. So when I decided to get brick parts, I started experimenting. And with brick parts, you don't have to necessarily keep parting it over once your lock start to form, it's formed and you can retwist it. So that's what I love the most about my lock journey. I was able to experiment. Let's get into our next tip when it comes to how to choose the right parts for your lock. Scalp sensitivity and growth pattern. Follow your natural hair growth and avoid tension spots. If your scalp is sensitive, custom or curved patterns would definitely help with your scalp and can reduce pulling. Follow your natural swirl of your hair direction. These helps your lock to sit better, and they also causes less stress on your lock. Do not get diamond pads if you know your hair is super sensitive and it's hard to maintain. Get something that is very easy to maintain. Let's get into our next tip when it comes to how to choose the right lock pattern. Longevity of a style. Some patterns hold better over time, like regular square pattern hold for days. With locks, you want to always consider how your hair will perform over time, with budding, with shrinkage, with retwisting. These are things that you want to know how it's going to operate over time. Braids or twists, you have to think about how the parts will look as the new growth comes in. This is why everybody just goes with the regular option, brick lay parts, because no matter how you decide to style your hair or how you decide for your hair to lay, it's going to look exactly how you want it to look, and it's not going to take as much maintenance as other parts will. Scalp visibility will be shown, it would also be minimized, and it will be even with your lock growth. Let's get into the types of parting systems that they have. The first parting system is square part, best for structured style. Pros to this is it's easy to section, very neat. An example can be traditional lock box braids. Let's get into our next parting system when it comes to your lock. Diamond parts. This is a unique look. Pros to this is less scalp exposure. An example look to this can be locks with a designer vibe. Let's get into our next parting system when it comes to your lock. Brick lay part. This gives your lock a fuller look. Scalp is hidden and it has like a natural flow. Also, an example of this can be lock, faux lock, twist. Let's get into our next parting system when it comes to your locks. Crescent or C-shape lock. This is best for a softer style. The pros to this is very, very feminine and it has less regrid. An example of this can be boho lock, goddess braids. And let's get into our last parting system, /organic lock. Get a natural look with this. The pros to this is no tension or no stress. And an example look to this can be freeform or boho lock. But I also want to get into the cons when it comes to your parting system, because I feel like it's so evident that one of the cons when it comes to square part is it can create visible line, can create visible grid line on the scalp, especially as the hair grows up. That's something you may not want. The second con, let's get into the con for diamond parts. Diamond parts is more complex and it's very time consuming to install. So if you're somebody that's not into maintenance, well, then that may not be the parting style for you. Let's get into our next parting system, which is brick lay part. The con to this is slightly harder to section when it yourself, especially in the back. Let's get into our next parting system, which is crescent /C part. It's harder to make uniform. It's not ideal for clean and sharp style. And our last con when it comes to freeform /organic part, you have less control over the final look, and it definitely can appear messy. However, it's not messy, because I always feel like locks aren't messy. But if you're aiming for a more uniform look or a uniform style, it's not going to give you that. But I just want you to know, if you're somebody that's just starting your lock journey or somebody that's currently in your lock journey, congratulations. No matter what parting system you choose, it always have to be best for your lifestyle, and what you pick what works for you. There's no one size fits all. Like, locks are something that's very versatile, that's something that's very expressive. So however you decide for your locks to be, it will be. But I just give you some very important tips when it comes to choosing the right parting styles that would help you on your lock journey. This video helped you. Be sure to comment what type of parting you were thinking about, what type of parting that you currently have in your lock. Subscribe for more locks and beauty content.